Hi, this is Faith, and you are watching The Faith Factor. Holla. All right. Hello, this is Faith, and you are watching The Faith Factor. I hope that you guys are able to hear me better this time. I had some Wi Fi issues. I had to switch it over to something different. So I'm hoping that this is working better. It looks like everything is operating and functioning the way that it should. Today's stream, this early morning, it is one going on 1:22 a.m. in Phoenix. I'm up early, y'all. I couldn't sleep, so I'm gonna mess around with y'all, okay? Good morning, cool gamer. Good morning. You know, I had quite a bit on my mind this early in the morning. I said, why not, since I got this insomnia and can't sleep, why don't I just come up here and just lay it all out? So I was waking up because I'm at my daughter's apartment complex. They're working on my apartment. They did offer, the complex did offer to pay while they were re-renovating my stuff for me to go into a hotel, and my dumb behind said no, I go stay with my daughter. And my daughter lives, oh god, next to this couple. And when I tell you, from the time I got to her house at 8 p.m., they were arguing and fighting the entire time. Like every hour on the hour, literally. Somebody's up yelling and screaming, throwing stuff at the wall, opening the door, trying to push somebody down the stairs. It's just bad. So I figured I'm not gonna get any sleep. So I just came outside, got in my car, because if I stayed up there, you guys they're still arguing right now. You would still hear them. So, hey, since I can't get any sleep, let me just mess with y'all. So the title of the video is The Courage to Be Good. And when I talk about being good, because in my last stream, I did see Chaos Rain in there. And he said, it's not enough to be good. You got to be great. And I agree with him. You should endeavor to be great. But when I say the courage to be good, I'm actually talking about your character. That's what I'm talking about. See, a lot of times people don't want to see you glow up. They want to keep you at the same level that you were always at when you were not at your best point in life. Now, I don't know exactly what's going on, but there's been some sort of spiritual shift. And I've been noticing this not only just with, being online and watching certain content creators, but also in real life. People are just shitty. Can I say that there's a lot more shitty people than the norm? There's definitely a spiritual warfare going on. And it's so crazy because right when I was thinking it, I went over and I turned on YouTube, and the first thing I saw was a Mary's thumbnail. And he said, some of y'all need Jesus. And I said, boy, if he didn't hit the nail right on the head. What's up, Chaos Rain? Chaos in the house. Yes, some of y'all do need Jesus. You do. I used to come on here back when black men and black women were really gender worn real bad. And I would come on here and people would pick my nerves so bad. I used to go up on these panels. I used to cuss, call people out their name, anything but a child of God. I didn't care. Until one day I went and I replayed a stream of myself just going off for no goddamn reason, sounding crazy, sounding irrational. There was a point in time where I would stalk certain men from channel to channel because I didn't like their talking points. Do you know how crazy you gotta be to sit up there and if somebody offends you on another channel, you turn around and you stalk them to a different channel where they're talking about a different topic. And you go on the panel to attack the person, not even caring that the content creator whose panel that you're on, they're talking about something totally different than what you up there to argue about. And so when I realized that I was doing stuff like that, I'm very self-aware person. And it's real good to be self-aware. I had to pull myself to the side and say, self, what the hell are you doing? Is it that important for you to be right? Is it that important that you have the last word in this situation? Why are you following these men from panel to panel to argue with them over something that you had a disagreement about 2-3 days, a week, a month ago? And see, I'm starting to see stuff like this online. And so the young woman and the young man that I mentioned earlier that's currently still in the act, in the art of fighting and arguing. I saw the young woman as the young man was trying to leave the apartment. He was trying to leave because I was being nosy and I was looking out the crack of the window. I saw him walking out the apartment, trying to get down the stairs. And who was following him, still cussing, still screaming, still yelling, still pushing him in his back and hitting him upside the head? And when that boy tensed up, I knew he was going to turn around and lay her out. I just knew it. I just knew it. And I kept saying to myself, boy, don't do it. Don't do it. Keep on walking. Get the hell out of there. And what he did next really surprised me. He stopped. She was in the process of getting ready to slap him in his face when he turned around to face her. And he instead grabbed her hands and he pushed her back into the apartment and he closed the door. And he said, "Don't follow me, you stupid bitch." These are his exact words. And I thought he did well. I thought he did very well to practice that self-control. But soon as he let go of the doorknob, guess who opened the door and ran back out, arms flying like a windmill, cussing, screaming, hollering? And see, this is what I mean. Like when you are trying to be a good person, other people will try to bring you back down to that level. They try to pull that beast up out of you. They do. Now he caught himself because he seemed to be a very self-aware young man. I don't know what they were arguing about, but from what my observation, he was trying to walk away. I don't know how many times a man can walk away from something like that. And see, this is where I have to get on some of you ladies. This is why I say in real life, I be seeing some of y'all. When these guys are trying to get the fuck away from y'all, y'all will follow them up, cussing, yelling, screaming, trying to get that man to come out of his character on you. You're doing it on purpose. And when that man does come out of his character, you want to call 911. Now it's crazy that you want this person to stay while you're abusing them verbally and physically. I lost count of how many times she hit and slapped that boy. Good night, good morning, the architect. I can't even count how many times she slapped that boy. And I'm on here. I'm in my car. I'm behind my daughter's building. I had to drive behind the building because they're currently going at it. I won't be surprised if I don't see the police drive up. I will not be surprised because they are really going at it. But like I said, that woman would not let that man walk away. Wouldn't let him do it. And I see some of you women online. Some of you goofy, drunk, ain't got nothing better to do females. Y'all will go follow these men from panel to panel just to argue about something that y'all argued about somewhere else. What is the whole point of doing that? And like I said, I see guys doing it too. But mostly I'm noticing these crazy women following these men from panel to panel to start shit. To start some shit. And I don't know how many of you are self-aware enough to catch yourself when you're doing it. You know, I have been on many a live stream and I get caught in the crossfires of these crazy motherfuckers. Even if I leave the live stream because I don't want to be part of it, later on, I'll come across the channel and this person done somehow managed to interject me into the shit too. Even though I left and didn't say shit to nobody. How crazy and deranged do you gotta be to, first of all, not only are you following somebody from panel to panel, but now because this person cool with the person you don't like, now you want to interject them in your bullshit too. Oh, Mike Johnson, I know I'm an eyewitness. If I see the police, I'm definitely going to report what I saw. Don't know what it was about, but I did see her hitting him. Yes. BMT says, I just traveled 45 minutes to check on my people because I give a damn. Exactly. You know, and that's what I'm talking about, you know, being a good person. It takes more courage nowadays to do good in the world, to be an upright person. It's very hard to be a good person. Like I said, that boy, I witnessed him trying to be a decent human being and not lay her ass out. And I'm gonna be honest with you, the way that she was going at him, I kept thinking to myself, now he wouldn't be wrong if he knocked her ass out, because she probably do need to lay down and go to sleep for a little bit so he can get the fuck away from her ass. Because that's how bad it was. It was really, really bad. And sometimes, ladies, you guys will follow these guys on here from panel to panel, acting belligerent, being ghetto, disrespectful to the person's panel that who you're on. And sometimes the person panel that you're on, they're messy too. They'll let some stupid stuff happen on their panel because they like the clicks and views. But not everybody is like that. But the bottom line is you look real crazy. You look real crazy. We on a panel talking about how to make cupcakes, and you want to talk about puppies and kittens and argue about the cost of kitty litter because you had a disagreement with the person 2-3 days ago. But we're talking about cupcakes on a whole nother panel. And y'all don't seem to find a problem with that. The unladylike behavior. Like I said, I am no different. I'm not gonna say that I didn't start off doing that. So let the record show I'm not being a hypocrite. But I had to be very self-aware that I was being an asshole. So at first I was an asshole, but now I'm not anymore. You have to have the courage to be good and to change and be a better version of yourself. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be a better version of you. But some of y'all delight in being your lower selves. You like being lower echelon. Some of you delight in it. I don't understand why. I guess maybe it's popular to be able to pop shit, start fights, brawl in the street. You think it makes you somebody. A lot of you have never ever been paid any attention to when you were younger. A lot of you have never ever had a platform to be heard. So you get these platforms online and now you abuse it because you're being heard, you're loud and you're wrong 1000% of the time, loud and wrong. Belligerent. And I'm speaking mostly to the women here because it's not comely. Now, men, y'all can go and check men. I know BMT checks men all the time. D Darrell does too. I know men that check other men. And that's the reason why I'm not really putting this towards the men. The women that come to my channel, they get upset because I speak mostly to the women. I'm a woman. So I feel that I can speak to other women. That's how that go. I can't always be niggas ain't shit 24/7. Although I do also sometimes get on the men. Business Minded Talk says, it takes character to stand 10 toes down on principle and know when to walk away from the BS. Exactly. BMT also says the loudest and rudest doesn't make your talking points right. It just shows you are an ass. He said arse, but I'm gonna say what it is. Ass. You're acting like an ass. You know, a donkey, a mule. And it's not comely. It really isn't. Some of you wear the, I'm from the ghetto and I'm ghetto badge with honor. You're proud to be loud and wrong. I'm also from the ghetto. I grew up in the ghetto, but I also endeavor to be a better class of woman. And it's a daily thing. It's something that I struggle with and I work with on a daily basis. It's not something that's going to happen overnight. So I do give myself, leeway because nobody's perfect, especially when you're trying to make a change. Like I said, when I first came on here, I came on here doing the exact same thing I see some of y'all doing. Back when I was younger, I was a tire slasher. Like I said, I used to be an asshole. I can be a real bitch. But the difference between me and you is that I'm not anymore. I'm self aware. There are certain things that I will not do anymore because I know it takes something away from me. Now, there are a couple of quotes here because I'm not going to stay up. It's real early in the morning. Like I said, folks arguing and fighting kept me up. Now, here is a quote that I want to leave you with. And let me see if I can get my screen to enlarge a little bit so I can read it to you. But it says the best revenge is not to be like your enemy. And I like this quote. I got this from Salcus Ray. Shout out to Salcus Ray of the UGC. This is a very good quote. Because a lot of times people will try to bring you down to their level. And when I say bring you down, let me tell you a story. I grew up in the hood where there was a fella, and he was the worst of the worst. Game banging. He did home invasions. He terrorized the kids come home from school. I was one of the kids that he used to terrorize. And he was way older than us. I think he was like 17, 16, 17. Well, on one of his little terror streaks, he messed around and he almost ended an older man's life because him and some other boys jumped on this older guy and almost beat him to death. He got caught. He was one of the only ones, I believe, that got caught. I don't know if they got the other boys that were involved, but he got caught. And he did time for that. When he came back from doing time, he was a man in his 20s. And when he came back, I noticed that he was different. He was not the same person that used to terrorize us. Because I remember when I was a kid, when I saw this particular person coming, I would walk the other way. I would actually walk all the way around the block just to avoid him. That's how bad he was. And I remember one day I ran into him and I said, oh my God, here come the cat calls. He gonna try to put his hands up my skirt. I was just expecting the worst. So I walked on up to him, my heart beating, I'm scared. And he just stood there with this smirk on his face. He said, you remember me? And I'm like, yeah, I know who you are. I'm scared. I'm thinking, what this nigga gonna do? This dirty, low down, no good ass nigga. Cause you only remember what a person See, your reputation precedes you. So I'm remembering him from way back when. He stopped me. He said, "Yeah, I remember. I used to, do this and I used to do that to you." And he talked to me a good long time. He apologized to me, and I was still, my heart was still beating because I'm thinking to myself, okay, when he gonna jump out his bag? But he never jumped out his bag, y'all. He never jumped out his bag. He said the best thing that ever happened to him was going to prison. And when I reflect on what he said back then, because that's all he said, he let me go. I didn't understand what he meant by that. But later on, I saw him years later after we were all grown. I think I was like in my 30s, and he had to be like in his 30s, going almost 40, because he was like 4 or 5 years older than all of us. He was married. He had a family. He drove a nice car, nice job. He was doing good for himself. He completely turned his whole life around. And I met him again, and I said, "Wow!" I couldn't believe it. And he said, "Yeah, it's me. I'm far from that guy I used to be." He said, "I got a kid. I got a wife." He said, "I'm just totally a new person." And he told me about how when he got out of jail, because I didn't see him around the neighborhood after that one encounter. And he told me what happened to him. He said that he was going to work. He was working at the local grocery store, because a lot of times when these guys get off on probation, their probation officer assign them to a place to stay. They have to have a residence where they can stay, where they can report to, and they have to have a job. But he said he was working, and he said, he used to go in his mom's purse and steal money from his mom's purse. If she had $20, $50, or $100, he would steal money out of his mom's purse. And he said for the first time ever, he was putting money back in his mom's purse. So when he get paid, if he had $20, $50, whatever, he would put money back in her purse. And he had a brother. His brother was out there real bad. He had turned into a crackhead and everything else. His brother would take the money that he was putting in his mom's purse. And so one day, the mom was going off in the house about her money being gone. And the crackhead blamed it on him. And see, remember I told you your reputation precedes you. So his mom remembered when he used to take money out of her purse. And because of that, she put him out. So he ended up having to go and live in a group home because he had no address to report back to his probation officer. And he said from there, he said, I couldn't even be mad at people from remembering me for the terror that I was. He said, because it takes a lot to change. He said, but that what my brother did to me, he said, my brother tried to pull me back down to that level. And he said, I could have got mad. I could have went off on my brother. I could have beat his ass. I could have done anything. He said, but instead I just left because I understood that that was not meant for me. Right, BMT. He said that boy had to reflect on his issues. And that's what it seems like he did. Because from the man that he was then to the man that I saw years later, he was completely different. He had completely turned his life around. He had to stop hanging out with the same people that he used to hang out with, because these people expected him to stay at the same mental level that he was at. And he was wanting to do something different. So maybe his mama putting him out of that house and getting him out of that neighborhood, away from all the people that he used to hang around, was a good thing. Because he can go and he can build himself back up in peace without people trying to tear him down. And that's what some of you need to do. I see a lot of people linking up with other terrible people. It's really difficult to be a good person when you're around bad influences. It's really hard. Good morning, Mahogany. When you're around a bad influence and you're trying to change, what do you think the people around you are going to do? They're going to remind you of who you were before. That's what they're going to keep doing. So many times I hear people criticizing a woman that used to be a loose woman or a prostitute or a stripper or just a whore. I hear them criticizing the woman if she leaves from one side of town or one city and moves somewhere else and completely change her life, completely start doing something different. But sometimes you have to take yourself out of a toxic environment in order for you to grow. So it's not that this person is running away from their reputation because their reputation is so bad. It's not so much that might be part of it. But maybe that person cannot turn their lives around when people are constantly reminding them of what they did in the past. See, a lot of times you're part of the problem too, with people trying to change and be the best version of themselves. A lot of times you all will see somebody doing good, but because you don't like that person, you have disdain for that person, there's nothing that person can do in your eyesight that's going to be good enough for them to make that change. You're not going to be supportive of that person making that change. And I've seen people, whole families, doing this to them. A girl could get pregnant and have a child, and she's the whore of Babylon forever. And they're going to remind her that she a baby mama forever. I see this on YouTube. Especially amongst the men wanting to shame women for being baby mamas. No matter how much these women changed their lives, turned it around, they went to school, got their education, pulled their children out the hood, it don't matter. They tell these women their education not important. They're just constantly trying to tear these people down. And I see that even online, in real life and online. And I'm trying to tell you, you got to get away. If you really want to change and you really want to be a good person, sometimes you have to break away from those toxic people. I don't care if it's your relative. I don't care if it's your best friend. I don't care who it is. You got to break away. Shout out to Robert Benjamin with the $5 super sticker. Thank you so much. I appreciate it this early in the morning. Thank you. As a matter of fact, Robert, let me go ahead and show my appreciation by giving you a round of applause, because we over here, we appreciate those that support. Thank you so much. Good morning, Jay Charles. Mahogany, she says, I'm so tired of that. Mahogany, I'm tired of that too. I'm very tired of that. When people are trying to turn their lives around, you got to understand they're not running away from their reputation. They're getting away from you constantly reminding them of what they used to be. The person cannot thrive, the person cannot change in a toxic environment. So y'all got to stop saying this to people, that they're running away, that they're trying to be something that they're not. Who is you to tell somebody that they're trying to be something that they're not when they're trying to do something positive? That's the reason why I say some people do not want to see you be the best version of yourself. Some people would just like to have somebody to punch down on. Let's just be honest. And if you're a person that's in the process of trying to make a change and you're trying to be the best version of yourself, and you got somebody constantly reminding you of what you are and what you ain't, what you can and can't do, what you not gonna do, they're telling you you ain't shit every 10 seconds when you really are trying. Now there's some people that don't try. Let's not get the people that are trying confused with the people who are not trying. But if you know you're really putting your best foot forward, have the courage to continue to do it anyway. And don't let the haters get you down. You have to have the courage to keep pushing forward and keep being good. Keep being that better version of yourself. And there's no such thing as a perfect person. Okay, it takes time to change. You are not going to change overnight. The same way it takes time for a person to stop smoking, it takes time for a person to get themselves weaned off of drugs or narcotics. It takes time for you to be that better version of yourself. I'm endeavoring to stop cursing so much. It's going to take time. But I'm endeavoring to be a better version of myself. So when you guys hear me stuttering sometimes, it's because I had a curse word in mind. But I'm trying to find a different way to communicate. Don't let others tell you or define who you are. You define that for yourself. If you know you're not a hoe and you know that's not how you're carrying yourself right now today, if you know that you have completely turned your life around, don't let nobody put you in that box. If you know you're not a no good, dirty, low down, deadbeat, don't let nobody put you in that box. If you know you're really trying, if you know you're trying to turn yourself around, have the courage to continue to be good in spite of what the haters say. Because they only want to see you at your lowest because it makes them feel good. There's something about people that have to keep punching down on others to make themselves feel good about their miserable lives because they refuse to change something in their life. So it does them good to see somebody who they deem to be doing worse than them. They do not want to see you elevate and do better even than them. I use examples of people online. I use examples of people offline. And mostly I want to, like once again, tell the ladies, you all have got to stop with the craziness. I see a lot of craziness on here. A lot of craziness in real life. Like I said, I don't hear the yelling and screaming. I'm at my daughter's apartment complex from the couple that's next door to her. But I'm telling you, I had to park behind this building because that girl would not let that man walk away. Now, I don't know if he's going to give in and give her the punch in the head that she's asking for. Like I said, I can't I stopped counting how many times I witnessed her hitting that man and trying to stop him from leaving. Y'all got to stop. Stop trying to stop men from leaving when they're trying to get the hell away from you. Stop it. Stop following these men from panel to panel to start arguments with them. You look foolish. Sometimes, ladies, you have to be self aware. You have to know when to let go. And we got it bad. And there definitely is a sense of entitlement because we're women. We think that it's okay for us to put our hands on somebody, a man. But when that man turn around and remind you that he is a man and he can beat your ass and kill you with his bare hands if he wants to, now you want to be upset, you want to cry, you want to call the police, you want to get him arrested. But you were over there putting your hands on him, not letting him leave, being loud, belligerent. And the way some of you handle yourselves online, I can imagine that's how you are in real life. Don't want to let nothing go. You just hold on to shit. The art of agreeing to disagree. Why is it that we lost that art? The art of just, hey, okay, you think this way, I think this way. Let's agree to disagree. But no, instead, I see you women stalking some of these men. And I'm not gonna sugarcoat nothing. I'm not gonna blow smoke up your ass. I'm not gonna be hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil. I see you all doing this. And now and don't deflect to, oh, but the men do it too. I know the men do it too. I'm talking to the women because I'm a woman and I can address other women. So let's not deflect. Oh, but the men do it too. I'm not talking about the men today. Today, I'm talking about what I see in a lot of these spaces, in real life and online. Y'all not letting shit go. Y'all stalking these men, starting arguments in places where it's inappropriate, going on other people's platforms, changing the topic because you want to go and argue about something else that happened a week ago, a month ago, a year ago, with a man that you don't like, that you've been stalking all over YouTube. Some of you females are stalkers. And I'm just going to tell the truth and shame the devil. I see you all. And also to the point, I've seen it where you all will get on panels with men and you'll get haughty. Get your ass all up on your back and you'll get real sassy with a guy. Asking them questions, you'll fire off about 10 questions. And if the man answers your question, you're not even listening to hear that he answered your question. Instead, you go and you hear what you want to hear and you start firing off on that guy. So in as much as you all say these men on here have problems and issues with women, a lot of you women have issues problems with these men. Some of these men, I don't know what trigger they have with y'all, but I have seen you all stalking these guys, starting arguments with these guys. Do they remind you of your baby daddy? Do they remind you of your ex-husband or your ex in general? Something is triggering y'all. Good morning, NC worker. Something is triggering y'all because y'all over here acting funny style like a mofo. And I'm here to tell you, it is not becoming. Now, when I talk about being a better class of women, I'm even talking about myself. Like I said, I did these things. These things that I see you all do, I know how to identify it because I was that woman at one time. And I had to be self-aware enough to say, hey, Faith, you doing too much. Some of y'all doing too much. And other women are not going to tell you that you're doing too much because they don't want you to turn that anger, animosity, and vitriol on them. Right, Chaos, but I'm not going to bring up any specific examples because, I don't want to alienate anyone, so I'm going to keep it general. But you're exactly right. But Chaos Rain put down the chat. I'm not going to highlight it because, once again, I'm not here to alienate any one specific group of women because this is something that I've seen all throughout on YouTube. And like I said, even with the chick, the example I gave with her keeping me up, that's the reason why I'm up tonight. Because she been up all night long, won't let that man sleep. And the reason I know it's her, because I can hear him yelling, leave me alone. I'm trying to sleep. And I'm thinking to myself, hell, I'm trying to sleep. Leave that man alone. We all trying to sleep over here. Dumbass. But anyway, I'm up now. Shit, I'm now they woke me up. Now I'm fucking with y'all. Shoot, if I can't sleep, can't nobody sleep. God damn it. We all gonna be up in this motherfucker. So that's what I'm talking about, ladies. Y'all got to woo-saw. I know it's a lot of hurt going on. It's a lot of pain. A lot of people done let you down. A lot of people done promised you stuff and didn't deliver. You thought you was going to get happily ever after with somebody and that didn't happen. Y'all going to have to woo-saw and learn how to let things go. And that brings me to another quote. And this is a really good one. I think this was Buddha. This is Buddha. Yes, Buddha. But Buddha says, in the end, only 3 things matter: how much you loved, how gently, oh, excuse me, how gently you lived, and how gracefully you let go of things that were not meant for you. And I think that last one is real important. How gracefully you let go of things that was not meant for you. That was Buddha. Ladies, sometimes you got to learn to just let go of things. We hold on to some baggage, and we'll take that baggage with us everywhere we go. What Erykah Badu said, bag lady, what did she say? You gonna hurt your back dragging all them bags like that? You gonna hurt your back because you just Got all this baggage that you're holding on to, and you want to lash out at everybody and everything. You're just lashing out. You can't hurry up because you got too much stuff. Y'all got to let go. Y'all got to learn to let go. Because you holding on to issues. Y'all got issues. And it's not everybody else's fault. You have to be self-aware enough to know when you are doing too much, when you're out of control. When you are following people from panel to panel, when you won't let a person walk away, you out of control. That is a you problem, not a everybody else problem. If that man wants to leave, you got to be strong enough to let him go. If he didn't want to be there, then you probably don't need him there. Let that man go. Somebody need to hear that tonight or this morning. Let him go. Don't stand there and argue with him just to keep him there. Don't do that. If he don't want to be there, then it's probably to your benefit and best interest that he not be there. If you're arguing with someone and it seems like you're going around and around in circles, it's not for you to amp it up to the next notch and start cussing somebody out, calling them out their name. Oh, you a weirdo. You a bitch. You a hoe. You gay. And I've seen some of you do this because somebody ain't following along with your program or agreeing with you. Let it go. The art of walking away is a beautiful thing. It's real easy to be a piece of shit. I'm going to tell you this. I used to be a piece of shit. Used to. And I wasn't aware of it before. But, oh boy, I would not let go of nothing. I had to have the last word. I had to have the last laugh. I had to have the last piece of revenge. That used to be me. Oh, I'm going to bust the windows out your car, slash your tires. Just rage, because I got baggage. I got issues. Some of y'all got baggage, you got issues, you don't want to let shit go, and you're assholes. Can we just say that some of you are assholes because of that? And you come across as being a bitch because of your issues. Not a nice person. Because you walking around here beefing, starting arguments, starting fights with everybody. And that is not the picture of a strong black woman, by the way. Being loud, belligerent, hate-filled, starting arguments, starting fights all the damn time, everywhere you go. Everywhere you go, there's an issue. And you relish. There's a lot of people. There's a reason why there's a beef sector. in Black YouTube. There's a reason for that. Because some of you thrive on chaos. You wouldn't know no other way to be if you could not be dysfunctional. And you have normalized it. You think this is how people should be. You pat yourself on the back and you say to yourself, well, I told them. I see it all the time. Some of you thrive on toxicity. But then you swear up and down it's everybody but you. So self-awareness is key. Letting go is key. Getting away from other toxic individuals who will not support the change that you are trying to make is definitely an important one. Because like I said, some people don't want to see you grow. They want to keep you at the bottom. They want to keep you the same person. So everybody can come with you on your journey to change and be a better version of yourself. And it takes courage to be a good person. Like I said, it's easy to be a piece of shit. Do you know how easy it is to cut somebody out than to walk away? I had so many instances where I really wanted to go in on a motherfucker online and cuss their ass out. But the new me will say, you know what, Faith? Get your ass off that panel. They trying to bait you in. They trying to make you be that bitch you used to be. And it takes courage. Let me tell you, it takes a whole lot of courage when people are trying to take it there. They try to take you there. It takes a lot of courage to be a good person. It's real easy to be an asshole. I'm going to just tell you, it's easy to be an asshole. But it takes way more courage to walk away. And people will look at you and they'll try to goad you. Like they'll say, oh, the fear factor. Oh, she's scared. She walked away. She didn't give us she didn't give us her energy. That's what they'll do. They'll try to goad you back in. So it's so much harder to be a good person. It really is. Being good is hard. Takes a lot of work to get to the point where you say, fuck this shit. Now, I'm not saying that there are not times when you do need to go the fuck off. But what I'm saying is everybody don't deserve your energy. If you take the time to stop and give that type of energy, that rage, because rage, anger is a strong emotion and it expels a lot of your energy. It does. When a person can get you to the point where you are so enraged that you are spiraling out of control, you give them the power. You have just relinquished your power over to this other person because that's exactly where they want you to be. People hate to come across people who have self-control because it doesn't give them any power over you. And please listen closely to what I'm saying. Listen very, very closely. When a person can get you to jump out of your character so easily, you're giving them the power. But if you decide when you can unleash the beast and when not to unleash the beast, when you decide how to pick and choose your battles accordingly, you have the power. So don't let every Tom, Dick, and Harry have that energy from you. Anger is a powerful emotion and it drains you faster than any other emotion there is. Mike Johnson says, and then when you get mad, they say, look at you, what's wrong with you? Exactly. Because now you out here looking crazy. They out here telling you you're crazy. Thank you so much, Jay Charles, with the $10 super chat. He says, I like your message. You're a wise woman. Thank you. Oh my goodness. That really means a lot to me. Let me go ahead and give you your respect and appreciation for donating. Always. That was so nice. I had to go twice. Thank you so much, Jay Charles. But no, it took me years to get to this point. I was not always calm. I was not always in control. I spent a good period of my life where I was out of control. And I let a lot of people have power over me that I shouldn't. And that wasn't cool. It wasn't. And people tried to make it seem as if I was the shit when I was out of control. Like, oh, nobody can mess with her. She's gonna go off. She's gonna do this. She's gonna fuck you up. And the people that were praising me for spiraling out of control, they weren't meaning me any type of good at all. They were just there enjoying the show. And meanwhile, while I'm spiraling out of control, I'm the one whose life is getting messed up here. I'm getting arrested. Okay? I'm out here looking like a fool. I'm out here loud and wrong. And people will applaud you all the way through your demise because they're entertained, but they don't give a damn what it does to you in the long run. They don't care. They don't understand that you're alienating people in your life. You're alienating yourself and your family, your spouse, your children, because you're out of control. That energy, it never stops. It stays with you. That baggage stays with you. And if you don't learn how to start letting things go, you start alienating yourself from other people in your life that are so important, that should mean the world to you. You are no longer able to start making connections with people who are actually good for you in your life. And that's the reason why you attract a certain type of person, by the way. Whatever energy you give off, that's what you're going to attract back to you. So when I started becoming a better person, when I started changing and I started showing my better side, having the courage to be good, I started attracting good people in my life. Because guess what? Evil don't like good. I found that out real fast. Evil does not like good. So if you want to attract evil, then you keep on being an evil bitch. And that's all you're going to get. And you're going to wonder, well, how come you always it got surrounded by chaos because you are chaotic. You're chaotic. And I'm not coming here to talk at you as a woman because I don't believe in doing that. I'm going to talk to you, woman to woman, respectfully. I'm not talking at you, I'm talking to you. We're on a level playing field here. We're all adults. I'm not punching down on nobody. So I want you all to take this morning's message. And if this applies to you, and if you feel that you need to become more self aware, and you feel that you need to make changes in your life, start with the things that I submitted to you here. You're going to have to start changing the crowd that you move around with because they're not going to be supportive of your change. You have to be more self-aware when you're spiraling out of control. And you have to have the courage, because it's real easy to be an asshole. You have to have the courage to be a better version of yourself. Sometimes walking away is the bravest thing you can do. BMT says, ladies, you lose your female empowered position going to the nigga level. It can be dangerous. Exactly. Exactly. And thank you so much, BMT, with the $5 super chat. Brother, I appreciate the donation. Let me go ahead and give you your respect and round of applause. All right. And with that, guys, it is 2:30 in the morning, or going on 2:30 in the morning where I am. I would love to go a little bit deeper into this, probably with some visual aids next time. But, you know, this is Faith, and this has been a version of my better class of woman. And being better does not mean that on a human level, you're better than somebody. It just means that you're in a whole other class. So when I say better, interpret that as we are not the same. And you start drawing that line in the sand, and you start separating yourselves from toxicity. I'm not saying that you're better on a human level. I'm just saying that you're in a class other than that is toxic and vile and not on a level of being a lady. So I want all of you to strive to be the best version of yourself that you can be, and become a better class of woman. I'm always endeavoring to be a better class of woman, and so should you. This is Faith. I love each and every one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in this early in the morning. I'm really surprised that this many people were up with me. If you didn't get a chance to, please like the stream and share the stream, because this helps my message get seen by more eyes. The more people that are aware of my channel, the more people that will come, and they will also be privy to my messages. My messages are inspirational. This is a channel that talks about community topics, mostly topics that affect the Black community. And if you are listening on the replay, I do appreciate the super thanks as well. And you can also send donations to my Cash App, and that is $Lady in the Truck. And with that, I have to say, peace. And I am out. Holla.